We're going to show you 3 super easy pies. This is for all of you people that just can't cook. If you burn water, this is for you. First pie is going to be a pumpkin pie. Everybody knows that butternut squash makes the best pumpkin pie. And this is a lot easier than having to bake a whole pumpkin. Or even easier, I guess you could buy a canned pumpkin.
It's not a pumpkin though.
But this will make you look super cool. And then you can lie and say it's pumpkin pie. You have my permission. That's the only time you can lie. So you take a knife and you go to this fat end at the bottom and you have to stab it a few times. Otherwise it will burst in the oven and be a huge mess, which you don't want. Then you gotta find a plate in this dirty kitchen to put it in the oven. So any kind of pan, you can use this, or you can use your pie plate, or you can use a cast iron pan. If I had it clean, I would use it. So I'm just gonna take it and stick it in the oven. Probably, I just put it at 400, because what the heck. You can do it 350 if you want to. And then, I'm going to clean my kitchen. Alright, with the kitchen clean, we can now make pies. And the first one we're going to make is a cream pie. And with a cream pie, you can make just a basic vanilla cream pie, or add coconut and make a coconut cream pie, or add cocoa or chocolate chips and make a chocolate cream pie, or just slice a banana and make a banana cream pie. You'll need whipped cream though. So you're going to need like some milk that has some fat to it is better. You can use skim milk, but it won't thicken as well. This is 2%. We usually don't drink it, but since it's Thanksgiving time, we're going to use it. Vanilla. You do not need salt, but you can put a little bit in. A couple of eggs, some chocolate chips. You can use semi-sweet or milk chocolate. It doesn't really matter. Some granulated sugar, and this is flour already. I already measured the flour, but I didn't measure the sugar, so it's a 1/3 cup flour, and it's 2/3 cup sugar. So to measure the sugar, you just put it in, give it a little shake so it's flat on top. That's good enough. Pour it in there. You'll need a whisk, but if you don't have a whisk, don't despair. You can use just like a wooden spoon, and come on, you can buy a wooden spoon for super cheap everywhere. Just kind of stir that together, and then we're going to use 2 cups of milk. I have a little bit of leftover evaporated milk, so I'm going to use it up. Here, make yourself useful.
It's possible.
It is possible. And then you're going to do 2 cups of milk. Okay, now after you've mixed the flour and the sugar, you can put this in and it should mix all right. Oh, and I spilled! You made me spill! Oh my word. Okay, then you come to the stove. Oh, this is the most important part, people. I'm going to turn it on low, like between 4 and 6. Use a pan that has a heavy bottom. Put the handle off to the side, okay? This way little kids don't come along and grab it all over themselves if you have little children at your house, like my 18-year-old little child. Okay. We're not going to show you how to make crust in this video. That'll be a different video, but I bought this pie pan for $4.43 at Walmart, and it has kind of a nice deep dish. That's nice. And these ones here were also at Walmart, and they're a little bit more shallow. But that's okay, you know.
Not as shallow as me.
They're a little shallow. And they were really cheap, $2.47. And then I went to Savers before I went to Walmart, and I bought the only pie dish that they had, and it was $2.99. But I didn't know pie dishes were that cheap. So then I went to Walmart and bought all these other ones. But that's okay, Savers. I still buy from you. You've given me lots of deals. Can't complain. Okay. Okay, we're going to check our butternut squash. You bake it for about an hour. Don't worry about if it's, you know, it probably is less than that, but, and it should just be just like that. Ooh, just really soft, okay? I'm going to let it cool because I don't want to burn my hand. You want to beat up a couple of eggs. So you get a fork, and you're going to go in a circular motion like this.
I want to be free.
Just use your wrist and flick it up, and I like to beat it till it's a total solid yellow. Our custard is beginning to thicken and bubble, and so I'm gonna take a little bit off. I'm gonna take it off the stove and just let it sit. This burner's not turned on, for like a minute, and then we're gonna pour a little bit in with the egg. Okay, so I'll just pour a little bit in. Can you see? Here, I'll do it this way. I'll do it with my right hand, since I am right-handed. Just gonna pour a little bit in the egg. I'm gonna mix it up. I don't want to have cooked egg pieces in there. That would be super nasty. Then I'm gonna pour it in here and stir it up. I didn't add the salt, but if you'd like to add salt, it's only a half a teaspoon, and you can add it at the beginning or at this time. Doesn't really matter when you add the salt. I just need to cook it for another minute, and now I'm gonna put my chocolate chips in. This is 2/3 of a cup, but you can use a little bit less. Like I said earlier, you can use semi-sweet or milk chocolate. I thought I had bought semi-sweet and I realized it was butterscotch instead, so watch out for that. You don't have to use Guitard, but a higher quality chocolate is obviously going to have a higher quality chocolate pie. And then while that's melting, you put in 2 tablespoons of butter. Do I have that set up? And if you notice on your butter, it has like a little measuring thing here. So I'll cut a piece off of that. I just want 2 tablespoons. Boop. Super easy to do it like that. Like I said, this is a beginner's video. And then we just need a little bit of vanilla. You don't want all the bottle, you just want like a teaspoon. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit in. You don't gotta dirty a spoon for that. And then just stir that till it melts. This is a store-bought crust, makes it super easy, and you have to pull up the edge here, because inside is a nice little plastic dome that you can cover your pie with. So now that this is all done, I'm just gonna give it one more stir, and I'm gonna pour it in. Now if you just want to do like a banana cream or whatever, your pie is done after you put in the vanilla. You don't have to put in the chocolate chips. We'll have a little bit of extra. Then you'll just stick this along the edge again and seal it up. And then when you're ready to serve, you'll put whipped cream on top. And I'm going to put it in the fridge and let it get nice and it'll firm up and not be so jiggly. Okay, pie 1. Okay, we're gonna teach you how to make the best, well, an easy apple pie. Maybe not the best, but this is certainly easy. If you have one of these apple peelers, that's awesome. If you don't, we'll show you how to peel an apple by hand.
If you don't cry.
So, stick it in here like that. And then you're gonna, I have it all already set up. I forgot to say you should wash the apple first, which I did. I did leave the sticker on, but it'll come right off. So I'm not really worried about it. Okay, there's your apple. There's the core. Oh, here's a little piece with peel on it, so we just give that to somebody to eat. And pour it in there.
I've been eating too much.
Okay, but if you don't have that, here's what you're gonna do. At this point, I would take the peel off.
My baby is jealous of me.
Wash your apple, get a paring knife like this. Does not have a serrated edge. If you're 5 years old, don't do it. If you're 25 years old, you can do this. Just try and peel close to the surface. And yes, I do put the knife toward me. I've never cut myself doing this. But if you are one of those people that cut yourselves, then go ask your mommy for some help, I guess. Boop. And 1 piece. What? And then just take your apple and you can cut it like this if you want to. If I get a breadboard. Oh, it's like stuck on there hard. cut out the core. You don't want any of that core, it's nasty. And then just slice it in there. Alright, I used about 5 apples, and after they get all like this, you can just kind of break them up. But if you peeled them by hand, you're good at this point. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of flour and sprinkle it on top, and a little bit of sugar, however much you want, and sprinkle that in there too. And a little bit of cinnamon, or you can use nutmeg. If you use nutmeg, you're going to use a substantially smaller amount than I'm using on cinnamon, because nutmeg is pretty powerful. And just kind of stir it around like that, and then pour it in your pie pan. And then take a little bit of butter. This is the one we just used for the cream pie. And just put a little bit in there. Or you could probably skip this part if you want to.
If you really, really want to.
If you really, really want to. Just a little bit. You don't need to do a ton. I'm just what they call dotting it with butter. Okay, and now we're gonna make our cookie crust. This is super simple. A lot easier than pie crust. It's coming up next. Okay, for this next part, this is the quick cookie crust. We're gonna need a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and I think I have just enough, and a 1/2 cup of flour, and a 1/2 cup of butter. Alright, that's good enough. And then a 1/2 cup of flour. Oop. This is not quite a 1/2 cup of butter. We'll grab a little bit more. And you're just gonna beat it together. If you want to add a little bit of vanilla, Okay, so I actually told you wrong. You're supposed to put a cup of flour in here. So 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of butter, cup of flour. Don't skimp on the butter or it just won't work. And then this is for true beginners. Take a little ball of dough, put it in your hand, mush it flat. This way you don't have to have a rolling pin and make pie crust and make it perfect. Make a little cookie and you overlap the cookies. And this really does not take very long. Super easy, anybody can do it, right? Right. I'm just gonna overlap it, and then I'm gonna bake it. Just keep doing that. You wanna make like a 3-inch circle if you can. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like we say, perfection is the enemy of success. For the quick cookie pie crust, I forgot to mention, if you don't have a blender, or if the blender doesn't blend everything into a nice crumbly crust, use a pie blender like this. And you just go like this and cut the butter into it, or you can use 2 knives or some forks. And here's the pie. It settles a little bit after baking. It's a lot poofier when it first comes out, but then it settles, but it's super easy, and it will be super delicious, I hope. Oh, and it bakes for about, depending on your oven, at 350 to about 35 to 60 minutes. I think we baked this for around 45 minutes. That depends if your oven is hot or a little bit cold. So, alright, this is for the pumpkin pie made with butternut squash. You're going to need 3 eggs, 2 cups of milk, and mixed with evaporated milk, and a cup of sugar, and maybe a little vanilla, and spices. And for ease, just buy a pumpkin pie spice. I bought it at Bulk at Winco. Typically I like to make my own spice mixes, but that one actually smells pretty good. So my butternut is cool now, and I'm gonna cut it down the very middle. There it is. And then I want 2 cups of this. So just scoop out off the peel, 2 cups. If we did this when it was hot, you'd like totally burn yourself, so give it time to cool off. Just mix it up. If you don't have an electric mixer, you can use a potato masher or a fork or whatever. Okay, so that's our squash ready to go. And then we just add the rest of the ingredients. Do a whole can of evaporated milk. But I want 2 cups, so I'm just gonna fill it up to the top. And I want some vanilla. Boop. Just a little boop, okay? You don't have to put in a ton. And I want some of this. And then I want 2 teaspoons or so of this. And then I want, is that a cup? I think it is.
2/3.
Pretty close. I want a cup. This is a 2/3 cup, so I will fill it half full to make the cup. Okay. And I want 3 eggs. Off my fingers because that's nasty. And then turn this on low. Mix it up. Okay, so I made a pie crust. It is not baked. It is an unbaked pie crust, and I beat it up. And I went ahead and added a lot more butternut squash, probably another, I don't know, 3/4 cup or so. Because why not? I'm just gonna pour this in. Oops, some of it, oh, I see a little peel in there. Just gonna take it out. And now we're gonna bake. Where'd my toothpick go? There we go. Okay, so to tell if your pie is done, you put a toothpick in gently, as far down as you can go without touching it. Pull it out, and if it's not, and you can touch it, it comes out clean, it's done. And one of the things that I did, because I was concerned about it cracking, is I put in another pie pan with water in it underneath this. And I don't have any cracks. This is a little bit brown. I should have probably put a little piece of tin foil around it to keep it from browning, but who eats that part anyway? We don't. There you have pumpkin pie. Got 3 pies for Thanksgiving dinner with a nice variety. One thing I should have mentioned, on the chocolate pie, I put this cover on before it was cool because I didn't want a skin to develop on it, and there was some condensation that got on top of the pie. That's okay. I took this off and dried it off, and I'm gonna put it back on because it's cool now and it's set. So when you serve it, just seal it up with whipped cream and nobody will know. Enjoy.